The Minnesota Vikings fan base hasn't just hit the panic button, they've smashed it with a hammer, duct taped it down, and welded the cover shut. The frustration bubbling through these comment sections shows a franchise that wanted a shortcut to stability and instead landed in the middle of a quarterback identity crisis. Every week feels like a new chapter in a saga where nobody agrees on what the real problem is, but everybody agrees it's bad. At the center of the storm is J.J. McCarthy, a rookie who arrived with a strange mix of hype, doubt, and projection. Fans were told he'd be the field general with John Elway traits, the poised Michigan winner who just needed a modern scheme to blossom. Instead, he's sitting at the bottom of nearly every statistical metric, and fans are wondering how a national champion could look this overwhelmed this fast. The criticisms are coming from every angle imaginable. Some fans say he never threw much in college and that Michigan protected him with a run game and elite defense, meaning this transition was always going to be bumpy. Others insist the Vikings simply drafted the wrong guy, reaching on a quarterback who was always more prospect than polished. But McCarthy isn't the only one under the microscope. The coaching staff is getting crushed, too. Fans keep pointing out that KOC is calling slow developing plays behind an O-line that's folding like cheap lawn furniture. It's hard to develop a kid when you're sending him on 7-step drops in his own end zone, and commenters aren't shy about calling that play malpracticed. The Kurt Warner breakdown added fuel, showing how mismatched the offensive design is for a rookie still learning how to read NFL defenses. Warner wasn't excusing McCarthy's flaws, but he made it clear that the scheme gives him very few easy outlets or quick answers. A young quarterback drowning in complexity is a failure of architecture, not just execution. Some fans argue the Vikings simply don't know how to develop young quarterbacks at all. The franchise history doesn't offer a long list of success stories, and these commenters see the McCarthy situation as the latest evidence of systemic impatience. When every bad snap triggers a meltdown, it's no surprise the organization leans toward veterans instead of true developmental projects. Of course, there's the Brosmer subplot, the UDFA who fans have turned into both savior and test case. If he goes out there and plays even moderately competent football, it will ignite a full-scale reevaluation of what exactly was holding the offense back. But others warn that the same fan base hyping Brosmer now will turn on him just as quickly if he struggles. The Darnold conversation is another wound that refuses to heal. Many commenters insist the Vikings should have kept him, while others counter with contract realities that made it impossible. Still, when the quarterback you let walk is balling out somewhere else, nobody wants a salary cap lecture, they want answers. What's made this crisis even more chaotic is the media dynamic swirling around it. Analysts like Thor, who once spoke of McCarthy as a can't-miss talent, are now getting roasted by fans demanding accountability. Fans don't want to be told their eyes are lying. They want someone to admit the evaluation was wrong. Meanwhile, tensions are boiling because the fan base is impatient in a way that feels different from past years. They know the roster is loaded elsewhere, which makes struggling quarterback play feel like a direct sabotage of a win-now window. The idea of letting McCarthy develop for 2 years sounds noble in theory, but torturous in practice. A few fans are preaching patience, arguing that 6 games isn't enough to label anyone a bust. But even they admit a reset might be necessary, sitting the rest of the season, simplifying concepts, repairing fundamentals, and letting the game slow down. Their argument isn't that McCarthy is good now, but that giving up immediately guarantees you'll never know what he could have become. In the end, fans tell the same story, a franchise that bet big on developing a young quarterback but seems unequipped to stomach the messy process that comes with it. The Vikings wanted the glory without the grind, the star without the struggle, and the instant success without the growing pains. Now, the team and its fans find themselves staring into a future that feels uncertain, uncomfortable, and entirely of their own making.